Spending thousands of dollars on EMS education just to check a box doesn't make any sense to me. I know there's so much more that we can do in the EMS education space, and I wanted to build something totally different. My name's Erik Axene. I'm an ER physician and an EMS medical director, and I'm the founder of Axene CE. Let me tell you a quick little story. I was recently in Sweetwater, Texas, to hold rattlesnakes. The reason why I was holding these deadly animals was to actually create an educational experience that was engaging so my students actually paid attention. Right now in the industry, virtual CEs is something that you press play and then you just walk away. I wanted to create something different. And now when I'm teaching, they actually pick up the red flags and they actually pick up those pearls of wisdom for management of a snakebite patient. We actually published a study recently, and we wanted to have some quantitative evidence of what our education did for learning. Our students scored on average about 95% on assessments, and with the industry standard, about 70%. Pretty significant difference. But what was really cool, 7 months later we came back, and our students actually retained information. They remembered 88% more than the industry standard death by PowerPoint. And so to me that was really important, because if you remember what you learn, guess what you do in the ambulance? You actually use it. And if you're not using your education, then what the heck are you doing? Now we do more than just play with snakes. I intubate myself, for example, to show my own airway anatomy, to show my students what you're actually going to see. And there aren't many teachers who go and intubate themselves. And I think that my students appreciate that, because they get engaged and they see this crazy guy doing crazy things, and they listen and they learn. And instead of drawing on a whiteboard, I went down and I built a light board. And this light board just shows bright colors, great drawings and illustrations, trying to visually show some of the things that we learn. Instead of teaching EKGs about bradycardias, I went and got a sloth as part of a way to engage the students in learning slow heart rhythms. And it's the same thing for fast heart rhythms, whether we're riding a speed bike or playing with Lamborghinis. We have a heck of a lot of fun making the education something that interests our students. And it's really education 101. And somehow in the industry, it's been completely denied and lost. When I watch what's being pushed out there, it's death by 1,000 paper cuts. I'd like to end by telling you one more story. I was recently talking to a fire chief in one of our Southwest region departments, and I gave him access to our content, and he brought all the guys and girls into the communal area to watch an hour of free CEs. And as expected, they enjoyed it. But what was really cool is what he told me next. They sat there and watched 3 more hours of content. They could have done anything else. They chose to sit down and watch 3 more hours of content. Does that sound like your average everyday virtual CE? No. Does that sound like something you're just doing for a checkbox? No. This is the kind of virtual education that these heroes, these pre-hospital heroes, deserve. This is the kind of content that actually is worth the money. You spend the money to make your paramedics better, your EMTs better, to help them learn so you can improve the safety of your communities. This is the content you want.